artist Alley with a good friend of Geek Hard, fearless Fred Kennedy, an amazing comic scribe. The amount of time that you put into a script there with your feather pen on your parchment.
I call it a quill, and yeah, all the time I'm always like shaving the nib to get the right angle, and then I do a lot of this thinking, a lot of touching this corner of the face, and then a lot of wallowing. That's a key component in creating is, well, if you're not wallowing, I can tell in the script. Like, you can tell if someone's wallowing enough when they're writing.
Right, that's the thing. Like, I look at some books and I'm like, not enough wallowing. But when I read Dead Romans, I was like, this is the right amount of wallowing.
You were wallowing that you hadn't read it earlier is what was happening. That's what it is. And people are wallowing as they wait for the sequel series, which is coming, should be announced by the end of the year. That's the plan anyways. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, now we're fingers crossing and wallowing all at the same time. Yeah.
Wow. That is, that's a lot. It's like when I used to see you on the GO train, you had your laptop there, you were writing. You're always writing.
Yeah.
You were writing comic stories, you were putting them together, and now I'm seeing the fruits of the labor happen. And it's so great to see a talent like yours finally getting recognized.
You know, man, it's funny because like I gave up like on comics. I completely threw in the towel because it was right around like 2019. I kept grinding. I had a few books that came out, and then there was like this transition to people like, let's negotiate this deal. We'll get this book together. And this was right around December, January of 2020. And then COVID happened and everything imploded. So I was just done with doing comics. And it was a really rough thing for me. And I started working on Mud 79, the radio play. And that's what all my energy was going into the radio play. That's all I wanted to do because I could do it on my own. I had control. I wasn't reliant on anybody. I could put it out. I worked with all kinds of other Star Wars fans that wanted to tell a really cool story. So it felt like I had a lot of control back. And then that fall, I'd completely forgotten that Nick and I had started working on a pitch, which was Dead Romans. And it was completely off my radar because he was doing all kinds of other like commercial art, and then he sent me these pitch pages, and I was like, wow, that's really good. And then we pitched it, and big shout out to Kalman Andrzejowski for helping us with that pitch and how to execute properly. And then, yeah, man, that magical thing that I'd forgotten about was what really got the ball rolling, and it's led to a lot of work with Blizzard, specifically Diablo. And then there was that relaunch of Hazard with the new season of Overwatch that we got to write. I got a story in Savage Sword with Marco Rudy, and I'm really, really proud of it. You tend to write things and then ship it off, and you're proud of it in the moment, and then are you as proud of it later on? But I'm really stoked about this, like as a lifelong Conan fan. It's called When I Was Young, I Met a King, and I'm really excited about it. I feel like it's got a real old school Conan kind of vibe, and that was a big like feather in the cap that really, but that just, you wrote Conan. I wrote Conan. But now I want to write a bigger Conan story. And so I feel like the idea of satisfaction is I'm definitely not there, and maybe I will be, but I would love to do a Silver Surfer story. But after that, like, Allred slot run, I don't know how that's gonna go, which I loved, by the way. It's one of those like you read it and you're mad because it's so good, you know what I mean? And my dad is a big he's a big comics reader too. He did not like the Allred slot run, and he goes, I don't think it's bad, I really think it's really nice to look at. I just thought it was kind of silly and weird. And I was like, I like silly and weird, man. I don't mind silly, weird stuff at all.
Fred, I want to thank you for once again getting deep today with us. It was nice. It was nice to hear you really, showing that love for what you do.
You caught me at the beginning of the day, so I'm full of pith and vinegar.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. You're not a plebeian. All right. There you go. Thank you so much, man. Have a great day.